Hello, you YouTubers out there. You're watching me, you're watching free X-rated speech. I'm a pissed off American who's always pissed off about something. And it's always something stupid I hear. And I'm hearing it, it's coming from all sides right now. And it's a point that, I belabor and, just keep talking about. But the bottom line is, it's because it's still out there. Alright, so anyway, it's about Barry Soetoro, of course. All the TV stations are getting involved because it's reached critical mass because of this Major Cook, which is a good thing. He's a true patriot. And and the Army basically just said, look, we don't want to touch this. We don't want to have to go to court and fight this guy, because then we'd have to prove who the president is, and we don't know who the president is. There you go. End of story. And Lou Dobbs is being attacked because now he's forced to talk about it. And at his station, at the Communist News Network, Lou, get the hell out of there. You shouldn't be working with a bunch of communist scum. All right. Anyway, and the boss over there at the Communist News Network, he said, well, yeah, back in '61, Hawaii had these weird birth certificates where they weren't really official, but da-da-da, and so the bottom line is, yeah, of course he was born here in Hawaii, and Hawaii today comes out, this one guy, what's his name? Let me find this guy. He's a real idiot. Where is it? Forget it. The bottom line is, a Hawaiian guy came out and said, look, he was born here, the birth certificate's real, and that's all there is to it. Doesn't mention, the hospital. Doesn't mention where the birth certificate came from. He just says, yeah, it's a Hawaiian birth certificate that's real. What the hell is that? Can we get the headstone of the name of the doctor who delivered them? Hawaii, you were a state back then. You got to have some kind of records. They weren't just popping them out in a hut on the beach. Okay? I mean, his family was rich. His grandparents, his white grandparents. This is another thing, too. Nobody wants to even talk about his Kenyan grandmother. No one wants to mention her whatsoever. Because the bottom line is, they all got to call her a liar. Call her a bald-faced liar. She told 3 different interviews. I researched this almost going on 3 years now. It was easy research. The guy was born in Mombasa. She told 3 different interviewers he was born right here in Mombasa. Whatever. Point is, after 3 interviews, the Kenyan president all of a sudden got word of it and cut her off from all interviews with foreign reporters. Interesting stuff, but he did. It's out there. Go find it. You want to research? See, and that's another thing. This guy's that's why I call this a conspiracy. Because every branch of the politics, every branch of the military, everybody is not doing a thing to find out who this guy is. All you got is 2 books he wrote. The one thing we knew from his books, the only thing we know from his books, is that he's going to stand with Islam if it came down to it. That's what we get from his books. That's it. You don't get who paid for college. How did you get into Pakistan in 1981 when martial law was implemented and American passports were no good? Even if you said, I'm a Muslim, your American passport would be no good and you couldn't get into the country. He got in because he was using an Indonesian passport. He's an Indonesian. He's never been a U.S. citizen, period. Nobody's ever done no paperwork on it. The list goes on and on. And since we're doing this, let's go ahead and look it all up. This is really a joke. Let's go through just some of the questions. To me, the bottom line is, why is he paying millions of dollars to lawyers? He's president of the United States. How come these news organizations don't know that he's paying all this money, or they won't report it? There's so much stuff that's not being reported. You can only say that this guy it's the Goebbels inspired media. It's like Goebbels is propping up Hitler. But here, you got 5 major news organizations keeping this guy up. Bill O'Reilly, one of his biggest supporters. He's the biggest criminal of all of them. There are long-form birth certificates, but he can't have one. His passport files, his Harvard Law School records, Columbia University records, Occidental records, his Punahou school records. Bottom line, Noelani Elementary School records, where you went to kindergarten. According to the Hawaiian Department of Education, students must submit a birth certificate to register. Well, what do you know, Hawaii? You do have to submit birth certificates. If you go with that Communist News Network guy, thousands of Hawaiians had no real birth certificates. What an idiot. But the parents can still put them in school with a student visa if the child is from a foreign country, which they did. But he doesn't want you to know that. Complete files and schedules over the years as an Illinois State Senator from 97 to 2004. Nobody knows. Illinois State Bar Association records, baptism records, Obama done him, marriage license, da-da-da, and so on and so on. Bottom line is, nobody knows nothing about this guy. All they want to go by is what this Hawaiian clown says. Oh yeah, it's a real birth certificate now. Now leave me alone. That's all I'm ever going to say on it ever again. Isn't it weird being in America? The rest of us, we always have to show birth certificates. If we move to a different state or whatever, we're screwed if we don't have a birth certificate. Unless we're illegal aliens, then you get the world. So anyway, Hawaii, I don't know what's going on over there, but you're right in the middle of the biggest conspiracy that this country's ever dealt with. And you're big contributors to it, so hopefully you'll be held responsible too. A lot of people need to be held responsible, but mostly in the news media. And folks, Bill O'Reilly and Fox News, they're not looking out for you. Come on, give me a freaking break. They're in the same boat with the Goebbels-inspired media. They are going to protect this Indonesian citizen, Kenyan-born man, no matter what. Because they think he's something special. And he's a communist. And that's really that simple. He's a communist. They want a communist. Franklin Marshall Davis, the communist pedophile. That was his mentor when he came back to Hawaii as an Indonesian citizen. It's getting really stupid out there, folks. So try to swim through it. But the attacks are going to get bigger here from the media, attacking who they call birthers. This goes so far beyond birth. His birth certificate, you morons. Media. Communist. The communist media. The Goebbels-inspired Nazi media. You know, you can, yeah, I'm sure you've all seen the email where, who am I? And then it just lists the whole thing. And Nazis. That's who's controlling the country right now, is a bunch of freaking Nazis. A lot of hell is going to be, you're going to have to be paid. And it's coming soon. That's my rant for now. I'm out.